This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Traditional beliefs and values. Culture can be defined as a set of shared beliefs, attitudes, values, objectives, and practices that constitutes an organization, an institution, or a group. Norms, beliefs and values vary in diverse ways across different cultures. All cultures are driven by certain principles that propose a certain direction depending on the situations. The set principles are what are referred to as norms. Norms are general guidelines that direct our actions in a given situation, including our ways of dressing. Then again, values are principles that provide us with a set of conduct and guide us how to behave. A value is a belief which provides a guide that something is good or bad. A belief is a general notion which is strictly adhered to since it is known to be right. Religion is one of the commonly pronounced beliefs. This paper will examine how beliefs and values vary across different cultures. It will also discuss the several beliefs that exist in different social institutions and how they are part of the system. Discussion. Most of our commonly held cultural values and beliefs differ, and they manifest at different periods of development in any given culture. They are usually displayed during time of birth, marriage and death. For instance, customs and beliefs surrounding childbirth are aimed at welcoming and protecting a newborn in the family. However, such customs vary widely across cultures. A Christian believer may opt to have the new baby christened through prayers. A Hindu believer would make some writings on the tongue as a ritual, while a Muslim believer might choose to make prayers to the Creator, which is then marked by a charm that is put round the child's neck. The same case applies when it comes to naming the child. Some cultures may name their child based on religious beliefs, season which the child was born, and social status. Some communities also do not refer to their children by their name, which is kept as a secret among the members. Instead, they refer to an individual by nicknames and so on. Different cultures have very different beliefs and judgment in regard to death. In the African setting, death is viewed as an avenue to join the ancestral world. According to the African culture, when an individual dies, he or she joins the ancestors. The ancestors are believed to play a vital role in protecting humanity. In fact, most African communities make offerings and prayers to the ancestors to appease them, especially when they are faced by unusual phenomena such as drought, diseases, and war, among other problems. Unlike the African, the Hindu believes that when an individual dies, he or she will reincarnate in a new form. According to the Hindu beliefs, if a good person dies, he will reincarnate in a form of an animal that is liked by the community, such as a rabbit. However, if a wicked person dies, he will appear back in the form of an animal that is not liked, such as hyena. Furthermore, marriage is an institution that is very basic and a necessity for the growth of any community. It is well developed among all cultures around the world. However, it is one of the traditions where we have great differences in terms of cultural values and beliefs. In Africa cultures, marriage is an institution that serves to unite different groups of people, and it is highly regarded as an instrument of peace. Most African who still uphold their cultural values today usually marry with an aim of making family ties strong, solving a conflict between two families, or as a symbol of harmony. For these reasons, an African woman has no decision on who to marry. The decision is made by her parents and elders. However, this notion is not common among educated African due to the influence of Western culture. In Hindu culture, marriage is strictly performed within a given social order based on one's social status. People in the lower caste cannot marry people from the upper caste and vice versa. Marriage in this community is meant to maintain and strengthen one's social status. On the other hand, people from the Western countries marry out of love. Marriage is held by ties of love which drives individuals to marry, and no one is restricted on who to marry. This culture is spreading across the world, and most people are embracing it positively. Conclusion. In summary, it is evident that traditional beliefs and values vary across cultures. For those communities that are deeply held to their cultural values, any member of the community who does not adhere to the set customs is discriminated against and considered to be an outcast. However, with the emergence of civilization, education, and information technology, the world has become a global village, and the Western culture has suppressed most of the traditional cultural values due to the perception that Western culture is a superior culture. Today most people are embracing the Western culture. On the other hand, There are some aspects that have not changed over time, and they are signs of cultural values among different communities. This essay on traditional beliefs and values was written and submitted by your fellow student. You are free to use it for research and reference purposes in order to write your own paper. However, you must cite it accordingly